to the fathers and all the men who care for us, to the grandfathers, the spiritual fathers, and the father figures, to the foster dads, the single dads, and the stepdads, to the mentors, friends, guardians, and guides, to those who loved us, taught us, and showed us the way, to those who carried us, held our hand, and watched us grow, to those who experienced blessing this year, and to those who went through loss, to the heroic men all around us, we want to say, thank you. Thank you for your courage, your kindness, and your faith in God. Thank you for shaping us, coaching us, and walking with us through life. Thank you for showing us what it looks like to love and follow Jesus. Thank you for your prayers, your wisdom, and for never giving up on us. Thank you for boldly stepping into this high and holy calling, for the long nights and the short years and the incredible joy. Whether this is a day of reflection, rejoicing, or remembering, we acknowledge you, we honor you, and we thank you today. Happy Father's Day.
Hello, welcome, and happy Father's Day weekend to all of you. If we haven't met yet, I am Pastor Josh Pontious, coming to you from Community of Grace Lutheran Church right here in Peoria, Arizona. And so, happy Father's Day to all the dads and grandfathers and uncles and stepdads and foster dads and just guys in general who are performing some kind of dad-like role. It really takes a lot of love and patience to perform those things. I know that as a dad myself. So thank you to all of you dads out there. And welcome to all of you as we experience this worship service that we have here this weekend for Father's Day. But I've been told, I've experienced it a little bit, but it has truly been told to me that this is a tradition around here to begin Father's Day messages with the most sacred of events, with a recitation of the best dad jokes. I went to buy some camouflage pants, but I couldn't find any. Did you know the first French fries weren't actually cooked in France? They were cooked in Greece. I was just telling someone about dried grapes. It's about raisin awareness. Oof, that's bad. Yesterday, I was washing my car with my son. He said, "Dad, can't you use a sponge?" I used to hate facial hair, but then it grew on me. A few fun facts. The last one about facial hair was actually totally true for me. I was never a huge fan of facial hair and beards kind of growing up, but over the last few years, it has actually become my signature look. Although I'd be lying if I said that every once in a while I didn't kind of get that urge to just shave it all off and go for the clean look. Well, as much as my kid looks adorable, I'm not so sure about that clean look, so maybe we won't go back to that. The other fun fact is I did not compile or find this list of dad jokes. A larger, more cringeworthy list was actually compiled by our very own Jeff Wright, who has been on our staff since, kind of forever. I did pare it down, make it a little shorter, just so we didn't spend our whole time on really bad jokes. So you might ask, well, why did I ask for somebody else to do such a vital ministry task, such an important task as getting the dad jokes together? Well, it's really easy. I didn't have enough time to do it. Well, I mean, that's kind of part of the reason, but also there's another thing. In reality, Jeff, in a lot of ways, kind of serves as the dad here at Community of Grace, especially for our staff. He's got tons of experience, a lifetime of serving this church and its people, and he knows the ins and outs of the building and its history and the people, and he's the one that everyone goes to for help or for answers, and that includes me. I rely on him each and every week. I rely on his wisdom. I rely on his insight, on his ability to help navigate the life and role of Community of Grace. But for me, it's not just him. Our incredible staff, many of whom have been here since before I was even in college, all have so much to help share with me so that I can most effectively be your pastor and to help me and this church to continue to thrive and to be excited about what's next as we seek to be a welcoming and inclusive and exciting space for all people to experience the love of God that God has for all of his people. I could not and would not ever do this job, be able to be your pastor without people like Jeff and the rest of our staff. So back to dads. One of the things that kept popping into my mind as I reflected on my experiences with my own father and as a dad myself was one of preparation, one of legacy. Because whether we like it or not, or whether we can name it that or not, there's something about dads that make sure that their children thrive. Not just survive, but they're equipped for the future. They're ready for what is coming next, and hopefully that they're doing even better for themselves than they were able to do on their own. They make sure that we know what we need to know to succeed. They've been handing us the wisdom of the ages, whether that's the best way to use a grill, and my dad taught me, and this is 100% true, that it is always with charcoal, never with lighter fluid. You get one of those chimneys out. It's perfect, it's clean burning, and it tastes really good. Okay. They also teach us how to treat people, and my dad did that for me, how to love and cherish your spouse and your children. And yes, they share the story of their faith with us, how it's impacted their lives, how it has transformed them, and they pass that on to us and how it can continue to shape us. And dads don't just want their kids to learn from their successes, but they help us to learn from their failures, from their mistakes, because we all make them. All dads do, the good ones and the not so good ones. But they also help us to establish an environment and a situation that allows kids to grow beyond all that they were able to themselves accomplish. And that takes sacrifice. It takes commitment. It takes a willingness to think beyond just what has happened and what is happening now, but to imagine possibilities for their children, for the people who are coming after them, to think about what could be, not just what is or what has been done. I'm grateful to my own dad who sacrificed and worked his backside off while still making time for important things for me and for my sister, making sure that if we had a sporting event or a performing arts event or something exciting happening in our lives or in our church or whatever the case may be, that he was going to be there. He may not have passed along his accounting skills for me, because that is certainly not something that I took up. Budgets are not really my thing, but he, gotta tell you, that guy can lead a Bible study and he can preach. I have seen him do it, even though he's not really a pastor. And I'm grateful to my dad, and I'm grateful to his dad before him, who was the very first person in our church to sign up and become a part of the Lutheran family tree that we are all here a part of. And it's important for us to remember that the role of dad isn't just limited to biological fatherhood. Dads can be grandpas or uncles or cousins or teachers or family friends. Sometimes mom gets to be dad. Sometimes mom has to be dad. Dads come in all shapes, sizes, and forms in life situations, and we are grateful to them all. But our greatest success stories as individuals, as communities, as a nation, and especially as a church, come when those who are the current leaders, the ones who are in charge now, kind of those dad-like figures, stop to ask the question, how can I make sure that the people who are coming after me having everything that they need to be exactly who they were called and made to be. When we start all thinking like dads, how do I make the world a better place for who comes next? How do I make our neighborhood a better place for those who come next? How can I make this church and churches like it a better place for those who are coming next? Now, that kind of thought process is something I aspire to in raising my own 2 boys. Oh, look at them right there on this Easter. I love being able to share the story of the faith with them. Well, partially because they're stuck being a pastor's kid, and so they're going to be here just about each and every weekend. But I'm also kind of excited to learn that my oldest son, Grayson here, thinks that I don't just have a really cool and important job as a pastor, but that he wants nothing to do with it when he grows up. He's like, Dad, that's really cool that you're doing that. I think what you do is really important, and I appreciate that. But it's not for me. Getting up in front of all those people is not for me. But then there's Daxton, who, well, he's 3. And so he hasn't done a whole lot thinking about his future career choices besides being an astronaut and a farmer and a policeman and a fireman and all the other things that little 3-year-olds think that they want to be when they grow up. And as a church, we know the value of creating an environment that allows our youngest people to interact with, well, the not so youngest of us. The staff here that has been here since the very beginning is still working not just how to keep us grounded in our past and in our present. They're here to make sure that we're ready for our future by always having these kids around, for the kids that we are learning from each and every week in our services, to the new families that will join us for the first time in these coming years, to the people who are returning to church for the first time after being hurt or rejected by churches of all kinds, to the people who know that there must be something or someone out there who actually cares for them and loves them. And like a good family, we here at Grace are still committed to having all of these dads and dad types around to learn from. And when it comes to the staff, well, they can retire when they're dead, because I'm not going to let them go if I can avoid it at any cost. Because they're here, not to just help us learn what has happened before. They're here to prepare us for what is next. And we are all here to love you and to care for you, to share in the good and the bad, to engage with you as we continue to gather, grow, and go together, but also to work alongside each and every one of you so that we as an entire church can work to be the best leaders and role models that we can be, so that we can support this place financially, invest in it for people who are coming next, not just to make the people who are already here happy, but recognize that there's somebody coming that we need to be ready for, that we can support them and make sure that this place is here and ready for him, knowing full well that we will never see the full fruit of our labors, that the investments that we make in the future might not ever be seen for us because they're not about us. Trusting that as we act as a church in this paternal role for those next people, that our Father in heaven, who got all of this started for us, will be alongside us each and every day. God has called great people in all generations to pass the knowledge of God to us. From the patriarchs in the Old Testament to the perfect Son in Jesus that God sent to us in this world, to the apostles and the leaders of the early church in the first few centuries of its existence, to our dads and our grandpas and all those who came before us. He chose them to prepare a way for us, to pass on the faith to us. And now we get to do the same, trusting in our Father's goodness and grace for us and for all people. He has handed us this story and handed us everything that we need so that we can pass it on to the people who need to hear it next. What an incredible calling. And you didn't know it, but because of that, in some ways, we all get to be dads, looking after those who are coming after us. Amen.